This is Chris Kopko for the William Brish Planetarium of Washington County Public Schools, and you've found Skylights. Skylights will take you on a journey through the November night sky and will help you to locate some of the objects you can find with just your eyes, or maybe a decent pair of binoculars. Although not essential for this podcast, it's always a good idea to have a map of the night sky handy to help you find your way around. One can be found in the column Our Friendly Skies on the Herald Mail's website or in the Record Herald at the beginning of the month, or downloaded from the Tri-State Astronomers website found at tristateastronomers.org. A red flashlight is also always handy to have along to help you to be able to see your map without affecting your night vision too much. This podcast is intended to give a tour of the night sky at about 9 p.m. near the beginning of the month and closer to 7 p.m. by the end of the month. If you're using this podcast much later at night, the objects in this podcast will appear to be in different places due to the rotation of the Earth. As usual, we'll locate something familiar first, to help you to find the direction you'll be looking. Find the Big Dipper, which will be low on the northern horizon at this time of night. Locate the two stars on the outside of the cup of the Big Dipper, these are the pointer stars, and if you follow a line through those two stars out the top of the cup, about 5 times the distance between those two stars, you'll come to a bright star not quite halfway between the horizon and the zenith, or the point directly overhead at your location. This star is Polaris, also known as the North Star. When you're facing toward this star, you're facing almost directly north. To find east from here, make a quarter turn to your right. Make another quarter turn to the right from the east to face south. Then one more quarter turn to the right to face west, while one more quarter turn should turn you back around to the north again. Now face toward the west where the sun sets. High in the western sky, you'll find 3 bright stars that make a large triangle shape in the sky. This is the Summer Triangle. Each of the stars in this asterism are the brightest stars in another constellation. To find the first star of the triangle, look west and just a little bit south or to your left to see a bright star sandwiched between 2 dimmer stars. This is Altair, which means flying eagle, and it represents the head of an eagle named Aquila. The body and wings of the bird are then found stretching down toward the horizon. From Altair, look higher in the sky to the north or to your right to find Deneb, which in Arabic means tail. This is the second star of the triangle. This star represents the tail of Cygnus the Swan, and the body of the swan stretches down the Milky Way toward the western horizon, while the wings of the swan stretch out to the south and north of its body. Finally, to complete the triangle, look down further toward the western horizon again, and just a little north to find the brightest of the 3 stars, Vega, which means falling, and which is part of the constellation Lyra the Harp. The strings of the harp are represented by a small parallelogram of 4 stars just to the left or south of Vega. Now from Vega, look to the northwest to find a keystone shape closer to the horizon. This is the body of Hercules the hero. The top of the keystone represents the shoulders of Hercules, and you can find his arms extending from his shoulders, while the bottom of the keystone represents his waist, with legs extending from these stars. Now look back to the Big Dipper again, then turn around 180 degrees to face south. Low on the horizon here, you'll see one bright star. This is the star known as Fomalhaut, and is part of the southern fish. Fomalhaut would be around the eye of the fish, with the body and tail of the fish extending back to the west or your right. Just a little higher in the sky behind the southern fish to the west, you'll see a group of stars that looks a little like a stingray, the corners of which are marked by 3 pairs of stars fairly close together. This is the constellation Capricornus the Sea Goat, a constellation that lies upon the ecliptic, which is the annual path the sun appears to take through the sky. If you check out this constellation each night, you'll notice a reddish-orange object moving into it and across it throughout the month. This is Mars, and that motion against the background stars is an indication that you are looking at a planet. In fact, the term planet is from the Greek word planon, which means wanderer, because the planets appear to wander through the sky against the background stars. Though Mars is high above the horizon at sunset, the fact that it and the Earth are moving apart from one another in their orbits will make it difficult to actually pick out many surface features on Mars with a backyard telescope this month. Mars is really the only planet you're likely to be able to find with the naked eye at the time of this podcast. But if you head out earlier as the sun begins to set and look to the southwest, you'll find what appears to be a very bright star. This object, nicknamed the evening star, also wanders through the background stars throughout the month, which of course means it's no star. This is Venus, the brightest object found in the night sky other than the moon, and it will be visible in this part of the sky all month as the sun sets, staying up above the horizon for 2 to 3 hours in November if you have a clear horizon. Venus, being closer to the sun than the Earth, also has phases like our moon, and the gibbous phase of Venus shines brightly at -4 to start the month, brightening as the month wears on. Look for Venus in the teapot-shaped constellation Sagittarius for the majority of November. Right near Venus at the beginning of the month is Saturn in the constellation Ophiuchus, but Saturn will be much dimmer than Venus, shining at magnitude 0.5. While Venus moves swiftly against the background stars, Saturn, being much further away from the Earth, barely appears to move in relation to the stars, staying within the constellation Ophiuchus all month and setting earlier and earlier each night. In fact, by the time it meets up with magnitude -0.5 Mercury around November 23rd, Saturn will be so low on the horizon that it will be difficult to spot without binoculars. From that meeting, Saturn will continue to sink lower on the horizon for the rest of the month, while Mercury slowly peaks a bit higher above the horizon each night at sunset. Finally, if you're interested in finding the remaining 2 outer solar system planets, grab a pair of binoculars or a telescope and some star charts, and set out to find Uranus and Neptune. Neptune can be found almost smack in the center of Aquarius, but as it's further away and dim at magnitude 7.9, it can be challenging to spot. Uranus shining brighter at magnitude 5.7 will be brighter, and if you have dark skies, you may even be able to find it without optical aid, though binoculars make it much easier to spot. Uranus can be found in the constellation Pisces, to the east of Neptune. Now that we've found some constellations and planets, let's take a look at some other interesting astronomical events this month. There are 2 meteor showers of note this month, with the first being the Taurids meteor shower, which peaks on the evening of November 11th into the morning of November 12th. With a peak of only about 7 meteors per hour, this is a small shower, but the Taurids are known for very bright and slow-moving meteors, meaning that seeing a fireball or two is not out of the question, even with a bright waxing gibbous moon gracing the evening skies. Head out after midnight when Taurus is highest in the sky for the best views of this small shower. The Leonids, the second meteor shower of the month, peaks on the evening of November 17th into the early morning hours of November 18th. The Leonids typically produce about 15 meteors per hour at their peak, though there have been very large outbreaks in the past, the most notable of which occurred in 1966 when people experienced thousands of meteors per hour over a 15-minute span. People who experienced this shower reported a feeling as though they needed to hold on to something as they truly experienced the flight of the Earth through space, with these meteors all originating from the same spot in the sky in the constellation Leo the Lion. While a large outbreak is not expected this year, it's still worth a look, even with a bright, waning gibbous moon in the sky. Well, that's the night sky for November 2016. Music for this podcast is provided by Walt and Jackie. For more astronomical fun, why not check out one of our public programs at the William Brish Planetarium? Located at Commonwealth Avenue in Hagerstown, Maryland, the Brish will be presenting 2 programs on the evening of November 21st. Catch One World, One Sky at 5:30 p.m. for elementary age audiences, and Habitat Earth for general audiences at 7 p.m. For more information, visit wbplanetarium.weebly.com. You can also join the Tri-State Astronomers at the Planetarium on Wednesday, November 16th at 7 p.m. to learn and share about the night sky. This meeting is free and open to the public and often includes presenters from places such as Penn State's Astronomy Department and the Maryland Science Center. You can also find our monthly article, Our Friendly Skies, in the Record Herald at the beginning of each month to learn more about astronomical events for the current month. This has been Chris Kopko from the William Brish Planetarium of Washington County Public Schools for Skylights. Thanks for listening.